in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. I'll say what I think everybody's thinking this time of year, but also with everything kind of that's happened here in the last few days. It's a good time to be a Tennessee fan. It is a great day to be a Tennessee Volunteer.
Yeah, NFL starting, a lot of VFLs. Hendon Hooker making his debut at some point, I guess. I don't know why he didn't start. Joe Milton apparently at some point too. I don't know why he didn't start either. He's apparently going to start for the New England Patriots at some point if you're Colin Cowherd. So, yeah, a lot of good things happening. The birds are chirping. It just feels like fall. There's one bird right next to
fall. It is. I think it is terribly hot right now.
Well, yeah, but like the start of fall is like super hot. The start of football season is really hot.
That's fair.
Those first two games, you're just
and you know you're going to get a week in September that's just brutal. A week in October that's brutal for no reason. And then Thanksgiving it'll be warm enough to sweat a lot out in the front yard right after you eat. So
yeah,
welcome to East Tennessee, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your weather report, brought to you for More Important Issues.
Yeah, I like when I get home and my shirt is just drenched
from
a Tennessee game. It just feels right.
Yeah, absolutely. Ready to sweat through every article of Tennessee clothing I have. The boys mentioned it as we came in. I'm not wearing gray today, so you won't see my pit stains. I guess you could. It's just unlikely. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitter or anywhere else you may watch.
Making it harder on the eyes.
Sure.
Yeah.
I do. Speaking of my outfit, I'll go ahead and do it. I got the new
Keep that
Tennessee
leg up
Air
a little
Maxes.
bit more. You need to stretch before you do that.
Brother, we're going to have to put a not suitable for work warning on this show if I do that. Shout out to Aaron. Got me these shoes today. That was special. That was awesome. And I get to wear them. That's the only trouble with the Tennessee shoes, and I still buy them every year, is you don't know when you can wear them exactly. Mm-hmm. Tonight feels incredibly appropriate, so I busted them out.
Sure, yeah. I like it.
Well,
so, Joe, are you a fan of? See, I used to love Air Maxes. I haven't worn them in a long time, so I don't know kind of what I look like in them. But are you a fan? I do like them better than the Pegasus, I think.
Do you mean the Tennessee ones specifically?
The Tennessee ones, yes.
I mean, I like them. Caleb and I were talking about it when we were golfing. It's like, I like subtlety. So, I mean, like, when it's just a touch of orange and it's not like Tennessee shoes, because then now it's like, is it tacky to wear out in public? Like, you don't want to wear Tennessee branded shoes when you have nothing to do with the athletics program. But I do think they're heading in the right direction. I think if it lost the Tennessee on the tongue, I think they'd be like damn near right up my alley. I won't get them. I just don't think I'll use them enough.
I love the people that wear them for everything. Yeah. Like that.
And
those are my favorite kind of people.
If you're going to do it, like, you're going to be like,
yeah. I can't rock that, but like you do you. Like, if you can rock it, do it.
I think these can be worn more every day than any of the Pegasus. Last year's were close, but I think these are. You're right. I could do without the Tennessee on the tongue, especially because it's got Tennessee on the laces. It's got it written out on the laces, but I could even do without that. But I think it can be worn every day and not look.
Yeah.
Look crazy.
I like them more where you're like those kind of got some orange on it. Like, are you a Tennessee fan?
Right.
But like those, like, with Tennessee on the tongue,
I mean, how many tongues of shoes are you looking at every day?
Well, I mean, like,
that's just lettering.
I'll be honest, it's like the first thing I noticed when.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you're looking at a brand new shoe. You're shopping.
That's true.
When I'm out every day and I see, so if I saw someone wearing these, because I bet there's going to be a shoe very similar to this, an Air Max, probably a little bit different color orange, that I'll mistake for these.
Texas?
I hope not. That brown would be ugly on a shoe.
I saw it today.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sorry that we were talking about a shoe now for 15 minutes, it feels like, but I do want to note that there are people, just human beings, but in this fan base too, that suck. Oh. That they're the reason that ticket prices are so high. They're the reason that apparel you have the people that sell the throwback apparel, stuff that is very worn for $150.
Yeah.
There was a lady buying 16 pairs of shoes today, apparently, What is she doing with 16 pairs of shoes? She's reselling them.
You know, it would be funny if there was it was kind of like a pre-order thing where you're just getting an abundance of shoes. She just bought 16 and not gonna resell them. That would be funny.
Sure, and maybe she has a family of 16 that needs them, but I doubt it. So if you are a lady, if you're
She's
doing
got
that,
a whole section at her house.
yeah, I mean, Section M represents everybody.
Yeah.
Then I would like to formally apologize, but other than that, I don't apologize because you're the worst of the worst.
She did get 16. I guess that
Shout out.
makes it a little better.
I feel like we're getting never. He's just, and I don't blame him. He's always around. You feel like you're at a point where is Tennessee football relevant enough that Peyton won't be the face of it, but he probably always will be, and he should be.
Yeah. Who else?
Well, I mean, we'll find out. We got two quarterbacks who are going to have the opportunity tonight. Let's see what this is. This the Peyton
Jalen
Manning week?
Reeves-Maybin, the leading tackler for the Lions right now. I mean, it's looking up.
This was supposed to be about quarterbacks, Landon. Calm down. He probably did play quarterback in high school. He also didn't play linebacker, which is an insane jump to go from playing safety in high school to linebacker in the SEC.
And then in the NFL.
Sure, yeah, that's bananas.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love Jalen Reeves-Maybin. Doubt at that position he would ever be the face of anything, honestly.
Captain. I want to start this show off with a question.
We're into the show, but yeah. Let's
Okay.
do it.
Well, I guess the meat of the show, if
Okay.
you will. Somebody asked me at work the other day, and I think it's a good question. What do you like about this football team more than you've liked the rest of Josh Heupel's teams? Is there one thing that just kind of stands out?
Boring answer. I can't confidently say anything because I haven't seen him play.
All right. Boring.
You're just gonna listen.
I mean, just what is? I guess it doesn't have to be like.
I'll say something that if you haven't,
What are you most something you're
Okay.
excited for that you think is going to be better?
Here's this. I am too, so I'm not bashing anybody that's not. I'm worried about this defense, but I do think they're going to be better than last year. Your front seven is going to help a lot. The thing I like most about what I'm assuming about this team is I think this offense is going to look more similar to the offense you had in 2022.
Okay.
And fun fact, I don't know if you remember that season, you didn't really care what happened on defense. It kind of all just worked out.
Yeah.
Except for one game that we will not mention.
Sure.
It all worked out okay. I think this defense has a chance to be better than that 2022 defense, especially the front seven.
You hope so.
And I think when you look at the talent, when you look at the quarterback, this offense has a chance to replicate what happened in 2022. So I like that. That's probably, but again, it's hard to say that's for sure because I just haven't seen him play.
Joey, you want to go?
I mean, I think I'm just excited for the standard of playing good football.
Oh, okay.
It's high. It's
wow, that was deep.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean, right? It's actually I don't know. I think last year was kind of shaky and stuff, and I feel like now there's a lot more. I don't know. You look at it, and everyone's kind of like, yeah, this team's realistic floor is 9-3. That is, you lose Bama and Georgia and either slip up with Oklahoma or God forbid Florida, but maybe NC State. But that's your floor, and there's an actual realistic expectation of being a playoff contender and a top 25 lock. So I mean, I think it's probably just the elevated, consistent elevated play of Tennessee under Heupel.
Okay, I like that.
I'm going into it knowing. Well, I mean, again, I don't knock on wood, but you're just that you're going to probably see 9 wins regular season out of this team, and that
yeah,
pending no nightmares, you don't go 7-5 or anything like that.
I think we're all kind of different, but all kind of gets to the same point. My first thing was depth. I think you have more depth at more positions than you have since Heupel's been here. I think that goes to him, just hitting the portal well, also developing, also just having more quality bodies at positions, and getting guys to stay. You're not losing a bunch of guys that, I might be in the 2 deep, but I'm not starting, so I'm going to dip. I don't think it's anything like that. So I like the depth of this team. I like the depth at receiver. I like the depth at especially defense. I mean, you talked about it being better. D-line, I think there's more depth at linebacker. I think there's quality bodies in the secondary. So I think all around it's more of a depth thing that I like this team going into the season.
Yeah, you've added bodies. It's year 3. You hope you have, and I think you have. So obviously you want to stay healthy going through fall camp. That hasn't worked completely in Tennessee's favor, but for the most part, I think there is a lot to be excited for in 2024. But we'll learn the full story here soon. We'll talk more 2024 after this short break. Stick with us on the other side. It's More Important Issues on Fan Run Radio.
Are you tired of the same boring workouts that don't get you the results that you want? Check out HotWorks. With infrared light therapy and personalized wellness options, you'll be able to get the perfect workout every time. With the hot yoga or any of the other isometric options at HotWorks, you'll feel the detoxification right away. Hop on over to 10839 Hardin Valley Road or visit any of the other Knoxville locations to get started on your personalized journey.
Who's ready to watch your Southern League champs take the field for a fantastic 2024 season? All season long, your favorite nights are back, like Star Wars.
'24 football season is right on the horizon. It's this month. Get you fired up. And I don't know about for y'all. This month's flying, which is good. You talked about what we're most excited for.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of might be what are you most anxious about, because obviously an injury away, a guy just not having his best year, best week, best game away from near disaster. The most important player to this team, that can take on a few different meanings,
Yeah.
We've talked a little bit about this before. Mine kind of stayed the same.
You got 5? How many do you have?
I wrote down 3. I
Okay.
could come up with 5 very easily.
Okay.
But I'm curious if yours are the same as because we didn't do this exact, but we kind of talked about this similar topic a few weeks ago.
Okay.
So,
Do you want to go? You go bottom to top, or do you want to go top to bottom?
yeah, we can go bottom to top.
Okay, I'll go first
yeah.
since you don't exactly have 5.
Yeah.
I think my 5th one is going to be a guy that probably wasn't going to be my 5th one about a week ago. And then Jordan Thomas goes down with injury. So
Okay.
I think Boo Carter, as long as he is the starter, which I think everybody kind of is in agreement that he probably will be, as if everything goes to plan. I think Boo Carter is my 5th most important player because of obviously him being a freshman, but it's also like that star position is a huge part in that defense.
Sure.
Kind of like it is a nickel cornerback, but it's kind of a safety hybrid, almost like a linebacker at times, the way you play it close to the line of scrimmage. So I think Boo Carter is mine, and he's going to play some on special teams. I don't know like what it looks like with him probably starting at star. Is he your punt returner? I don't think it really matters if he's your kick returner or not because everybody kicks it to the end zone now. But if he is your punt returner, I think that only just solidifies himself as being one of your most important players.
So is there another guy that can be that Boo Carter in your mind? Like, is there someone that can fill that most important player role outside of Boo Carter, or is it just Boo Carter?
I think it probably is whoever starts at star if it's not him.
Okay.
But yeah, I think with him being a freshman, obviously got to grow up quickly.
Yeah. I talked about it last night. Playing that position in the SEC is probably, as a day one starter, is one of the more difficult ones because by nature you're undersized going in there.
Yeah.
And you've got to be a little bit more aware. You got to know what's happening exactly in a lot of different
But it's also
areas.
like you're close to the line of scrimmage, but you can't get lost in the backfield
Yeah.
either.
You do have a lot of opportunities to make plays at that position.
You do?
So that's a positive. A lot of mine, for the reasons we talked about before the break here, are offensive. So I'll go first and 5th most important, if you want to call it that. For me, it's Dylan Sampson. That running back room we know is fairly thin, talented, and that's kind of why I'm 5th most. I think there's guys who can fill the void, but got to have a big season, got to stay healthy. A lot of things got to go right for Dylan Sampson if you want a lot of things to go right for Tennessee.
Yeah. Okay. You want to go 4th? You want to go?
Yeah, I can go ahead and go
snake?
4th. This one, he was more near the top the last time we talked about it, and I still think it's there. It's Brew McCoy.
Okay.
Very important for Nico, very important for this offense. I think if you want to win football games, especially late, see Alabama in 2022, it's Brew McCoy.
Okay. My 4th one is, and I like Brew McCoy. He was probably going to be my 6th. If
Okay.
I was going to do a 6, he'd probably be right there. 4th would be Dylan Sampson for me, just because obviously there's kind of a lack of depth there right now with Cam Seldon dealing with an injury. Just a lot of unproven talent. Peyton Lewis was a late, freshman to get on campus. So, I think that kind of puts him a little bit behind the 8 ball in regards of how much can he contribute right away. Maybe he just has to, but I think that's a big ask. But Dylan Sampson, I think you saw how important the running back position was with Jalen Wright last year. Obviously, Tennessee wasn't the most dynamic that they have been in the 2 years prior.
Right.
But you get Dylan Sampson. Jalen Wright has the year he has. If Jalen Wright doesn't have that year,
It looks very different for Tennessee.
I think
sure.
it's very different.
Sure.
So Dylan Sampson, I think he's going to have plenty of opportunities. He has a great opportunity ahead of him to be that bell cow, and I think in this offense, like, I think a running back should be really good.
Right.
Now he's got to be able to handle it, especially like.
I don't think there's questions whether Dylan Sampson can handle it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's questions. I think for him it's staying healthy.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
And probably the rest of the room too. Because
definitely.
if Cam Seldon isn't able to get healthy, I think that that just makes him more important.
Third
guy, I gotta go with Mr. All-American and James Pierce.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, obvious reasons.
Yeah, just what he brings. A secondary that might be young with Boo Carter or inexperienced, I think can be helped out a lot by a guy like James Pierce. So I'm going to go with him, number 3.
Yeah, and James Pierce is an obvious candidate. He is going to be the focal point of a defense of a front seven that looks to have a big year. There's no denying how important he is to this team, but I did change it up a little bit in terms of my third most important. I think there's no question about James Pierce. I feel very confident in his abilities. For that reason, I feel very confident that teams will look to mitigate his damage.
Okay.
I've got the guy opposite of James Pierce. That's who I'm looking for and who I think is most important. James Pierce has a big year, in my opinion. Now, does that translate to the stats of sacks? I think it translates tackles for a loss. They're going to have trouble handling him. I don't know, for the simple fact that I think teams will key on him. It's the guy, whoever ends up there, whoever's playing there primarily, whether it's starting or just getting the most snaps there, the guy opposite of James Pierce has to be a guy that gets it done.
Yeah. It could be Joshua Josephs. I think he's probably in line to be that, especially on third down.
Right.
We'll see kind of what it looks like the rest of the downs. But, yeah, I definitely agree. And a guy that, if it is Joshua Josephs, a guy that kind of fits that mold that you've seen the last couple years, where pretty good season, struggled a little bit that next season, and then put it all together in that third season.
Yeah.
Jalen Hyatt did it. Jalen Wright did it. So I think Joshua Josephs can be that same type of player where, before James Pierce was James Pierce, Joshua Josephs was the best young pass rusher on this team.
Yeah, last year was underwhelming for sure for him.
Yep. And I think he admitted it. There was a little bit of jealousy there with James Pierce, and how do you not feel that way once that guy has, is an All-American and being drafted or being projected to be drafted number 1 overall, when you're like, man, freshman year I was better than that guy.
Right.
So I'm sure that was a tough pill to swallow, but yeah, I do think he is, whoever that is should have a heck of a year because of what they're playing opposite of.
Yeah, plenty. That will be the most opportunities for a guy who we don't know yet in terms of who's going to be the primary there. My close second to first, which you'll hear first here in a second. Close second, it's Nico.
Oh,
it's Nico. And you'll hear why he's my close second here soon. This team goes where its quarterback goes, and that's really the case for most of football now. Your quarterback is your ceiling, and he's also oftentimes your floor. It's hard to get it done without a great quarterback. I talked about a lot of this because we previewed Tennessee in 2024 on SEC Unfiltered. That video's out now. Watch it after we get done, please. Stick with us, but if Nico is who I think he is, and if he's anything like a lot of all fans think he is, this team is going to look just as good, if not better, than 2022. I think he is much more the Hendon Hooker, protect the football type than Joe Milton. I think he's more talented than Hendon Hooker. Now, he doesn't have the experience Hendon Hooker had in 2022. But he did get to sit behind. Joe Milton did get to learn this offense for an entire year with minimal looks and then a start against Iowa, which I think was big. I'm not going to take a ton from that Iowa game, but you saw what you saw at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think he looks composed. He looks like he's willing to take shots but not necessarily take risk. He throws the ball outside the hashes really well. He uses his feet when he needs to and oftentimes when he wants to. I think he's poised to be what Hendon Hooker was for Tennessee in 2022. And the bottom line is, if he's not good, I don't think this football team's good. And so he's very, very important. But I think it also requires something else for him to be good, and I'll get into that when we get to my first most important player.
Well, I might take yours right here. I got Cooper Mays as my second.
Okay.
Cooper, I think, kind of like you said with Nico, this offense runs however Nico runs. I think Cooper Mays kind of fits that same mold. I look at like
I agree. I agree, but I see Nico as Nico might be the car, he might be the engine you see, but Cooper Mays is the components that makes it up.
Okay,
I think
that wheel and axle.
Yeah, I think he is so vital to Nico that's what makes him incredibly vital to this team.
Yeah. I mean, there was a huge difference last year when Cooper Mays was not in Tennessee's lineup.
Yeah,
that offense was vastly different. And it's just like a Tennessee guy, and I mean, he's just been everything that you'd want, like an ambassador of the university to be in Cooper Mays. So he's going to be my second. My first is Nico. And why I went Nico number one is because I feel like I don't know what it looks like at backup center, but I think there are some capable bodies. I got no clue, and this is no offense to Gaston Moore or Jake Merklinger. I got no clue what is behind Nico. If he goes,
that's fair. I think it's fair. I think Cooper Mays is,
and they're pretty interchangeable. Like they are 1A and 1B. I think they're both kind of quarterbacks in their own way.
Jake and Cooper.
Cooper, yeah.
No, I mean Cooper's the guy at the line of scrimmage that he's calling the shots when everybody's down, and he is certainly the straw that stirs the drink. I mean, you mentioned it. You saw what a Tennessee team looked like without Cooper Mays. He's a great center, but he's also a seasoned vet. And I think that's very, very important for Nico. This would be scary if you saw a guy with minimal looks starting for Tennessee at center, whereas I don't think it's all that scary with Nico. I'm more hopeful. I'd be less hopeful even if he played well against Iowa. I'm going, well, what's it look like in a full season? What's that first true road game look like? I feel really confident in what we have in Cooper Mays, but I think that's why he's the most important player to kind of where this Tennessee team goes. And I think part of it, too, that's a compliment to the rest of the guys on the line. If the rest of the offensive line was like, we'll see how they are, this is a really good starting offensive line.
Yeah.
And with Cooper Mays at the helm directing traffic, I think that adds to a level where they can be a lot better. If it was like, we'll see what we get, it's one of those things I'm thinking Cooper Mays isn't as crucial as he is. But I think expecting a lot from this starting group, I think that's why he's also so important. I think it's a compliment to the rest of the guys. It may seem like a knock. I don't view it as that.
Yeah, definitely. I think both of those guys are – I think it's those two and probably everybody else when you're looking at most important players on this team. But I think if those two have a good year, I think Tennessee has a really good year.
Yep.
And that's probably why they are 1 and 2 for the both of us. So, I'm excited to kind of what this team can be. And obviously there's some things that have to go right. I think that's with every good season that you have. You got to stay healthy. Got to be able to produce, make plays.
Yep.
But I think you got two really good ones in your quarterback and center for Tennessee.
Absolutely. And Joey, I won't make you read off 5, but do you have one for me that you want to throw out? If it's one, maybe it's probably one you've heard. Do you have one? Maybe that's not most important, but someone you see crucial. If it's one we haven't heard, if not, you can just throw out however you want to do it. You know what? You do what you want to do, Joey.
Thank you. I appreciate the freedom that you resort me.
You can talk about whatever you want. We don't have to talk about this.
We can start talking about Oregon Wall tickets again. And
yeah, sure.
If you say J.J. Peterson, though, we're out. Just got it.
No, but What did you say on the golf course? You got me fired up about Jeremy Banks again, dude. I thought about him all day after that. I forgot I hated that guy. I was so... Yeah. Damn. Out of people that y'all didn't mention, probably Keenan Peely.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay.
I just think that's going to, add depth to that defense that we're a little shaky about and kind of, complement Boo Carter as most likely a starter back there. Trying to think of anybody else that absolutely...
I thought about Peely. I thought about Arion Carter too, as guys that you're going to look at and go, they're going to be the most impactful players this year.
Yeah.
So I think Keenan Peely's a strong one.
I think Jermod McCoy at corner. I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about the secondary and how we're a little worried about it. I mean, if he is the lockdown corner that you hope he is, I think the expectations for the defense go way up.
No, absolutely. I agree. I mean, I feel shaky, sure, about the defense, but also and I think it's the Tennessee ball in me as we get closer and closer to kickoff that feels more hopeful about them, and that may be dumb, and that's okay. We'll preview the safeties and continue on our position preview, talking more DBs. Stick with us on the other side. It's more important issues on Fan Run Radio.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment.
We're going to continue on our position preview. It's more important issues on Fan Run Radio. We continue on in the darker days of this. I feel like we started off on offense, and then we had to get real sad. Where'd we start?
We went back and forth. I've been
Okay.
going offense, defense,
That's
offense,
right, we did do defense last. I was thinking Thursday, so yeah, Thursday. That's why we were in the studio and we talked about DBs.
Yep.
A lot of days running together. We are going to preview safeties here. That's another group with a ton of question marks. Maybe some more, at least, bodies we've seen. I don't know if that's a good thing after last season, but we have seen them.
Yeah, I think the hope with this group is you're just number one. It's different faces. I guess people were looking for that. I know Jalen McCullough had probably his best year in a Tennessee uniform last year. Had a number of pass deflections, 3 interceptions. But I just think they needed to get more athletic back there.
Yeah.
And hopefully you see guys like Andre Turrentine, was a transfer from Ohio State. I think he is probably going to be one of your starters. Who the other guy is, I think that's probably still up for grabs, I would think. Now, I think if you're going best 5, I think Jordan Thomas is probably going to be your star. But I think your best 5 might have been Boo Carter at your star, and you move Jordan Thomas back to safety, and have Turrentine and McCoy and Gibson at the corners. But losing Jordan Thomas, I think losing one of your best 5, no matter where it was at, stinks and stings for the depth at safety. But it is going to be new faces. You landed Jacoby Thomas from MTSU, who has 108 tackles in his 2-year career for the Blue Raiders, 4 interceptions. Played a lot of football, 6'2", 200 pounds, kind of a bigger safety body back there. Interested to see kind of what he looks like. We mentioned Turrentine. He looked good when Wesley Walker went down. He started a few games back there and looked decent. I mean, didn't
I
do
don't
anything
think
to like.
I think
rally.
that's the guy I was referring to in terms of guys you see. I feel okay about him. I don't feel one way or the other necessarily.
Sure. Yeah.
But probably a place where I'm looking at, I'm going, well, I feel like you know what you got, and it's not all that bad right now. I mean, I think obviously it could be better and could certainly be worse, but I think he's at least a decent starting place come week 1 for this Tennessee defense. And you got to hope he maybe starts making a jump. Getting 3 starts under your belt, not a lot. I think it's big. It's nice and he gets an interception against Iowa. Maybe gets some confidence rolling. Obviously not good for that confidence to have a 9-month break, but
ride the high, baby.
Right, but at least get to see something. And so I actually feel, as I sit here and moan and groan about the defense in the secondary, I like what you're getting at Andre Turrentine.
Yeah, and it's hard to really like moan and complain when you haven't seen any of these guys.
Right,
really.
absolutely.
But you do have guys like John Slaughter, coming in his sophomore year. We'll see kind of what he looks like. I mean, he looks the part.
Yeah.
I don't know kind of what that looks like on the field, but definitely looks the part. Will Brooks is a guy that they trust. We'll see if he's a guy that could start back there beside Andre Turrentine, Christian Harrison, Christian Charles.
That's been a disappointing turn.
Yeah, like so promising, so athletic, and it just wasn't
fast.
It just wasn't at corner.
Right. Well, he played his freshman year. He played a game at safety, didn't he?
Yeah. And you're like, okay, like that's he blocked a punt at Georgia when we played Georgia at home, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, well that's the next guy.
Right. Just hadn't worked for.
Yeah, the cornerback experiment didn't work. In the second game against Austin Peay, goes down with an Achilles injury. You lose him for the year, and he's back, and like, I mean, what does he look like?
Right.
Moving positions. It's kind of that thing where like, hey, you want guys to be versatile, but you want that versatile player to be in their best position too.
Sure, you don't move them because you necessarily want to. It's usually a have to, and you don't necessarily want to have to either. I'd like to see a guy like that make a step, but I don't know if we're kind of past that experiment. And then I know you have a lot of people that are not excited about the potential of seeing a walk-on. I don't know where he's at now, but at some point a walk-on in Will Brooks.
What's that NIL look like?
Right. But, I mean, that's a guy you did have to see at times last year, too, due to injury. Mm-hmm. So it's a guy that's played. And
I mean, they trust him enough to put him in the game.
He sees the field enough. Yeah.
Now, maybe that was because of, I'm looking at the list right now. It's like I don't know who else they would have put in
besides
besides a freshman and,
But-
and John Slaughter.
But hey, it's nice that even if you're the last one they choose, it's nice that they still chose you. It wasn't necessarily by
Yeah,
default
sure.
entirely.
and didn't look bad. Like he wasn't out of
No.
place.
It wasn't as bad as I think it sounded like it could have been.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And I think you don't want, knowing what we know about Wilbur, you don't necessarily want him.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I shouldn't say definitely, but starting. You probably don't want him getting a ton of playing time, but again, I think a world could be a lot worse.
Sure.
But I think he played competently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you have two freshmen, Idris Farouk and Boo Carter, who, I think Boo Carter is probably going to be at that star position, but I think could be some depth at safety if they absolutely needed him to. I think that's probably his natural position. I don't really know his natural. He's
an athlete.
Playmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just gets the athlete tag.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely think there's some capable bodies, definitely some talent. I think that talent is only going to get better. The way you're recruiting that safety position right now, it's just got to go see it.
It is. And listen, I'm not calling for jobs here. I don't talk about another man's job. I don't do that. It's not me. But I will say this. It'd be a really, really good time for Willie Martinez to prove that he's worth a nice fat paycheck.
That's true. That's
If
true.
there's a year to do it, brother. It's this year.
Yeah.
Go do it, please. Figure something out. Get some magic working. Call a voodoo doctor. I don't know. Do what you need to do. Take a trip to New Orleans. Sell your soul. Figure this group out. And I wanted to ask you this too. Is there anybody that's slated to play on the outside that maybe could see a position change to safety because their skill set just fits better? Because, I mean, it is a thin group. I think you could see a lot of jumping around, but is there anybody you have slated for that? You mentioned Boo Carter a little bit, but besides him?
Yeah. I don't think so.
And the corners are kind of thin, too. It's not really...
It's probably a lot different conversation now that Jordan Thomas has
Right.
went down with injury. But, like, I don't know if you want to mess with the depth at corner. So
Yeah. All right, so any linebacker.
yeah, I think Jalen McMurray, he looks like a safety,
Sure.
but he plays corner. So I don't know. I mean, whatever your best five
I was
is,
about to
I want to
say,
see that.
Maybe it's a time that you do just roll your best five out there. I mean,
Yep.
you say we've got to figure out who gives us the best looks, and that's who you roll with. And I don't know if I see the Tennessee coaching staff doing that, but I wouldn't mind to see somewhat of a look like that.
Yeah. Well, and like the last few years, that star position has been a safety type. It's not
Sure.
really been a corner. So
And that's typically, I feel like, what you're going to see anyways.
yeah. But Boo Carter he could be both. Honestly, he's not a big. He's not a thicker safety. He's just like a thicker corner. He's just a more physical corner that plays safety. If you wanna-
Yeah, well, and I mean, the factor of it is he has the speed to play corner.
Yeah.
If he didn't have that speed, you
Sure.
wouldn't be saying that. He has the speed to
Yeah.
run with anybody he needs to.
Yeah, I feel like I'm way more confident in Boo Carter moving to corner than like Tamari McDonald
Right.
or Wesley Walker or
Right.
Theo Jackson. Theo Jackson's a good player, but I don't.
Yeah.
Those
no,
guys, you
there's
don't want to see at
positions.
corner.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's guys that play certain positions for a reason, for
Mm-hmm.
sure. A name I hadn't thought about until we talked about it just now is Christian Charles. And he's just because he slipped the mind fairly the last few years. I mean, that game he flashed in that he played, did he play the star position when he came in? Was it against Alabama?
Maybe.
And he looked natural. He looked really good. He looked like he covered the field very fast, just got to the right place at the right time. And then there was nothing, pretty much, from there on out. That's a guy I think that, I mean, you would love to actually be able to use his speed
Yeah.
if you're a coach. And so if he could find a way to be impactful this year, doubt that's in a starter role based on what we've seen, but I think that's a guy that, I mean, you would kill to have that. No one wants to turn around and see a guy as fast as Christian Charles sitting on your bench. No one wants to.
Yeah, we'll see kind of what it looks like. I think the main thing for this group is confidence.
Yeah.
I think, especially 2 years ago, there was a huge lack of confidence in that group, and it was, I mean, warranted, sure. But I feel like it's got to be a boost of confidence knowing that James Pierce is coming off the edge. Like, lean on that defensive line. Let them them do the dirty work. You just capitalize on the mistakes.
Know that ball's got to come out quick, or it's going to come out in trouble.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Play to your strength.
Yes, I mean, there's a way to make it easy on you. So don't go out there and do stuff that even the most talented cornerbacks in the league wouldn't want to do. Like, don't go out there and make things challenging for no reason.
Yeah, like, I mean, we haven't just gotten burnt a whole lot. I think on third down especially, play the sticks. You know who's coming off the edge with their ears pinned back. Play the sticks.
Sure.
Like, they're going to have to get that out quick.
Sure, play the sticks, but don't know where if you're going to do that, know where the freaking sticks are. I'm sick of seeing corners line up beyond the sticks.
Yeah.
That's not fun for anybody.
Right.
And honestly, like, you're right. Tennessee hasn't just gotten burnt a ton. But I think there needs to be, especially, you mentioned it with this defensive line, there needs to be a time and place where you are willing to get burnt because you're going to make it a challenge on that quarterback. If he can drop back, he knows James Pierce is going to be there in seconds. All he's got to do is get this ball out quick on something short. That's easy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where James Pierce is at.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it goes into that confidence level. You need to play in a way. At times, I'm not asking for this for every down and distance, but there are times that I'm thinking we don't need to be playing keep the ball in front of us right now.
Mm-hmm.
There are times that you have to know I'm going to make a play. Could I get burnt deep? Sure, but that also requires them to block James Pierce, to block Amari Thomas, and that's not going to happen. And I'm going to put my hands in this dude's chest and make him get past me, and I don't think there's enough of that, and that is some confidence. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and is there a quarterback that you're just like, I can't let this receiver get by me because he's absolutely going to put it in the breadbasket every single time? Is there any that I'm just like, man, that's a professional quarterback? Besides maybe Carson Beck, and Carson Beck's a little different because he's got 2 5-stars on both tackles to be a brick wall.
You do have Jalen Milroe who can sling it, and especially when you're talking about throwing the ball downfield. There's a handful, but it's also not every single down that you think that's a possibility.
Yeah, but third and 5. Is his first throw just catch it and chuck it down the field? As far as I don't think it is.
That's the thing is 3rd and 5. You have 12 quarterbacks you play this year that can throw a 3-yard slant and let their guy go get the extra 2 yards. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. But look at the inverse of that. Now you're talking about a few guys that can just toast you. Or I mean, even then, like how many guys can sit on a break and really wait on it if you make a receiver have to run a really good route?
Yeah,
it gets questionable again. And there are plenty of guys that you're going to play this year that can do that. But how often, how much at a consistent level? I think you have to come up. You have to be confident. You have to be strong. You also have, I mean, I think that's the thing too, is I think you do have more talent in the secondary. You have guys that can turn in their hips and run and bail. You have guys though that also have the strength to make a guy earn it. And I just want to see that reflected in I think that's on the coaching staff. I want to see that reflected in how you call your defense.
Yeah. I think there is a certain thing where if you make a mistake, it should be a pick.
Right.
Whereas like in previous years, bad throw,
it could be a first down.
Yeah, didn't seem like it was turning, going the other way with it. So
yeah, if you go look at the stats, there's a lot of non-stat batted balls in there.
I saw Jermod McCoy make a pick in the end zone in practice the other day. That might have been planned. I don't know, but I was all in for it.
Oh, it's a Colorado social media team at work.
Yeah, throwing darts.
Yeah. possibly. I am more hopeful for this group and the DBs as a whole for a few reasons. I'm not depth. I have questions about. Sure, everyone should, but I think there's some hope there. We'll talk more Tennessee football. We'll have some more for you as well after that. Stick with us on the other side of this break. It's More Important Issues here on Fan Run Radio. Hour number 2 here on More Important Issues on Fan Run Radio. Breaking news. Hendon Hooker officially in the game.
Let's
The
do it.
Detroit Lions.
Standing O.
Oh, standing up. What's that? I didn't. He is 1 for 1, 1 yard. That is a stat category, my friend. That is how you do it. That is efficiency at its finest.
100%.
Start him.
I think you retire immediately.
Done. Don't tempt him with a good time.
Yeah.
And then we don't know for sure, but we're thinking it's Joe Milton time. Oh, let's go to the box score. They have the football. It's Bailey Zappi still.
Boo.
Get him out of here. We want balls in the preseason.
They didn't even put him in there to throw a
bomb at the end of the half.
Yeah, what the
Draw Mayo. Wasting talent.
Jacoby-
Fire him.
Jacoby Brissett.
Fall on Vol
1
crime.
for 3. What are we doing?
It's the only thing that can really
Bailey
get me.
Zappi got booed by
Did he?
the
In a
fans.
preseason game?
Yeah.
That's hate.
Yeah.
That is hate.
Yeah.
This is the only thing that can get me interested in preseason football is Tennessee players. So
Yeah.
you had a former Tennessee player scoring, was it 2 touchdowns for the Giants?
They're great. Yeah.
So that's exciting stuff, I guess.
Sure.
If you find that exciting, then it is exciting, in fact. Another breaking news I wanted to bring up while we were on the break. Let's see which Crane tweeted out. It was Jake Crane. His top 25. He has Tennessee at 11.
Ooh.
Which I think is the highest I've seen Tennessee in all these national media, I guess.
Yeah.
SEC medias.
It's actually
rankings.
smart by Jay Crane to do that.
So he didn't
No-
get so much hate mail.
Well, he knows his audience.
Right. Well, he did put Missouri and LSU behind him, so there will be some hate thrown his way.
Yeah, but like, who's a Missouri fan?
Yeah. I mean, Tennessee State champs, baby.
God, that's unreal.
That's funny to say. You don't put it on a shirt. I mean, it's so.
That
Tacky.
is a very high school thing to do.
Again, funny to say. I mean, shoot, make a social media post about it at the end of the year. It's funny. But your guys are wearing those shirts around campus? That's weird.
Yeah.
And you don't play Tennessee this year. I doubt you play any of those teams.
Yeah, we're in a shirt with I guess a conference rival logo on it. Just seems
That is weird, too.
strange.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Not going to be the last thing Eli Drinkwitz does. That's really weird, but we'll stay tuned for tomorrow. He'll have something new in his khaki jorts for you. Don't worry. It'll all happen.
Camo pants.
Yeah, it'll fall into place. More good news, not breaking news, but Tennessee is off to a hot start in 2026 recruiting class. I mentioned this. I was like, if anybody was kind of wavering on Josh Heupel in December, which an underwhelming season, I think, is kind of the word we concluded on the 2023 season. Not disappointing, just underwhelming. Just nothing
Yeah.
exceptionally fun about
It was
it.
chalk.
Yep. But if anybody was kind of wavering, and I think there were some people starting to peek around, like who would be available if we needed to. Then you had January and Nico have a good first start in his college career. And then you have just the excitement for this football season. And then you get the number 1 quarterback in Faison Brandon. And then you add to it with a local guy.
Yeah.
You get Carson Sneed, that from Donaldson Academy, I believe.
Yep. Donaldson Christian Academy in Nashville.
Are they just building more private Christian schools in Nashville? I feel like I hear of a new one every year.
Yeah, it is.
We should start one.
Okay, I'm in.
We should call it Nashville, but I don't want to move, so we should open it in Knoxville. Like Nashville Christian Academy, but it's in Knoxville.
We could have a branch in Nashville.
Sure. We'll just put it in like a strip mall like Bishop Sycamore.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
We'll get a former NFL quarterback to coach it, and we'll give him a private jet.
Do you get extra funding for just like putting Christian in your name?
You could probably find it.
Okay.
Well, and then Bill Lee's about to pass all the school voucher stuff. We'll have plenty of customers.
Okay, cool. I'm in.
And we will call them customers, not families or students or parents.
I mean, we could just
Customers.
be like a small JUCO, just like a feeder school into UT. That would be cool.
Yeah. You cannot come to the entrance exam for our school is combine.
Okay.
We don't shy away from why we opened the school.
If Vandy is even in your top 10, don't come here.
Transfer.
Yeah, get out immediately. Carson Snead, a 4-star tight end in that 2026 class to go along with 5-star quarterback Faison Brandon. I mean, I know he kind of went through the process, and I guess there was a little bit of, optimism for some other teams. His brother Dayton is on Tennessee's roster as a wide receiver, and he through a lot of his interviews and stuff, he's like, I was a Tennessee fan through the Derek Dooley, Butch Jones era. I mean, like, if you were a fan through that, you're coming to Tennessee. In this era, you're definitely coming to Tennessee.
If you say you were a fan through that, which would
mean you are after.
Meaning you are still a Tennessee fan. If you did all that and then decided you're going to go to, especially a rival, then you should be institutionalized.
Yeah.
So we know he's okay. He's all there mentally. Everything's good. Everything checks out there. Because I would be worried if he said something like that and then didn't go to Tennessee. I mean, that would be mind-boggling.
Yeah. Also, he's a guy that we talked about. McAllen Castles wearing that cowboy collar, wearing number 34. This guy's wearing he wears number 58.
That's sick.
As a tight end.
I didn't even know that was illegal. I can't keep up with all the legal numbers. I would assume that wouldn't be a legal catching number.
Can you name I don't think I could. Can you name a really good number 58?
Here's what's
anything
embarrassing. There is probably one out there, but no, I cannot off the top of my head name a really prominent 58.
So I like that. He's trying to pave his own way.
I would wager a hefty sum that 58 is one of the very last numbers picked in any given football team.
Yeah. It's so random. I don't even know if I'd think of it as the most random.
No, absolutely not. If you told me to pick a number between 1 and 117, I wouldn't pick 58, and it's dead center.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's not possible to do.
Mm-hmm.
I like it, though. And you got to think, he probably plays on a team of, max 60?
Probably.
And he picked number 58.
Yeah.
He might need to be institutionalized. I might have spoken too soon. That's crazy.
Yeah, but was, more like a pass catcher, but, it is a small Christian academy. He is 6'6", 215, so probably bigger than a lot of people he plays, but he's burying people in the dirt. And I love that. And I'm sure Tennessee, the staff loves it. They got to. Alec Ablin, he's like 58, plays tight end. He's like, I can't think of a better person to recruit. Alec Ablin was an offensive lineman. I don't know if he was number 58, but if it was, I think it was a match made in heaven.
Yeah, he needs to be careful with that number. They may try to move him to offensive line. He might want to come up with another number.
Yeah. Stop eating now.
Yeah. Be careful. You may be. They may change your position. I'm sorry, bud.
Yeah,
that's dangerous territory.
Well, one of the top players in the state of Tennessee for that 2026 class. So, want to go ahead and get started in state and. Starting off strong on offense. I like that.
I got to think, too, I don't know how close he was committing before the Faison Brandon stuff, but had to be a little extra juice. Be like, that's my quarterback. Yep, done deal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Sold.
Easy money. That's why you want a quarterback early. That's why
if he was a fan through Derek Dooley, Butch Jones, it doesn't matter who the quarterback was. He was coming in.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it was
I don't know
two.
I don't know how close he was. I just think that was probably the kind of final nail in the coffin deal. Like, yep, I'll do this today.
He's like, wow, number 2 isn't thrown to me. I'm in.
I would like to hear what it would take for him to not be a Tennessee fan.
Okay.
Because that's a lot. Because, he's young. That's all he knows is Derek Dooley and Butch Jones.
Probably wear a shirt with Alabama's logo on it around campus.
What year were you born, Joey?
2002.
And he's 4 years younger. So he was probably born around 2006. I mean, he's not even seen us play in Atlanta. It's crazy. And when I say seen, I mean not even alive,
Yeah.
potentially, to see us play in Atlanta. He may have barely been alive.
How many winning seasons has he seen?
I'm not even trying to count that. Poor guy.
What a guy.
And he wears number 58. I mean, that's all just terrible, terrible stuff for him. But I'm happy we got him.
Yeah.
It's good news. Start selling 58s, I reckon.
I'm in.
I would buy a 58 jersey for the hilarity of it.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't even care if he wore 58 at Tennessee.
I think that's perfect. Can you even catch a football if you were number 58?
That's what I was saying. I don't know
It's
if
like
that's
a- like
an
a
eligible
green X.
receiver. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's an eligible receiver number. I know it's less strict at the high school level, but I don't know what it is. 58 seems right in the middle of a non-catching number.
It sounds like they have to announce he's
58
eligible.
is eligible
yeah.
on this play.
Yeah. Which that's cool. You make sure
your name's always being called.
Exactly.
Name's always being called. I think I'm gonna get a custom-made 58 jersey now, just right now, just so I can have a 58. It's that random. I like it that much.
Can you put just like on the back, just put last name?
I like that. Speaking of randoms, I don't want to derail everything too much. I don't have anything else. You want to mention anything else for this class before I do this?
No, I'm good. I think it's a good start to it.
Okay, let me derail this then.
Okay, let's do it.
Did you see where college football, with the new update, they're going to make sure FCS teams are FCS quality? Because apparently there were just really good players, I guess, transitioned from the Madden platform. So if you simmed a game, FCS, that's why it was so tough, because they had incredible, I don't know if it's 99 overall, but incredible players playing for FCS Southeast.
Oh, really?
Pandas, yeah.
Yeah, they had to nerf them. Those teams were way too good. Also, Hendon Hooker just broke away on like a 30-foot run.
You'd
so
love to see it. 30 foot?
30-yard
I
run.
was like, you measure football plays in foot?
Dude, I've been golfing
Smarter
too
than
much.
I am. God.
Which is not a problem. Never.
You
never
measure
think of
golf
golfing too
in
much.
feet?
Like putt. If
Okay,
I was thinking.
Okay. You are a man with the flat sticks. I don't blame you.
What in the world was that?
New episode of The Turn dropping soon. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube right now.
Do it.
Guys, we're going to go to a quick break. Before we do that, though, I want to tell you about Grade A Grounds. Grade A Grounds is a local coffee roasting company in Kingsport, Tennessee, owned and operated by two educators. Being educators, they, of course, love their coffee, but they also love their community. They give back to the community by giving back 5% of all of their sales. So you buy coffee, a group called Coalition for Kids, they get a classroom stocked. Make sure you guys go check out their great coffee. My favorite, B is for Blueberry. Close second, Gold Medal Blend, which is a special for the Special Olympics of Greater Knoxville. That's part of our tournament coming up soon. Make sure you sign up for that. And then I think my first is going to jump. I didn't get to try it last year. I'm very excited. It's the Volsicle. It is a special blend for Vols fans by Vols fans. So make sure you guys are following all that's happening on Grade A Grounds. You can follow them on Twitter, Instagram, or check them out at gradeagrounds.com. It's Grade A Grounds Coffee. I love it. You're going to love it if you haven't tried it yet. Go on over to their website right now. Buy you, your loved ones a bag. Buy several bags. You'll want to. Use promo code GOVOLS, capital G, capital V, GOVOLS at gradeagrounds.com. Shout out to Grade A Grounds. Stick with us, guys. On the other side of this break, it's More Important Issues here on Fan Run Radio. and I'm liking this trend. Joe Milton in the game for the New England Patriots. He is 2 for 2. He just had a rush himself for a first down. He's got the Patriots marching. And then I know you've seen it by now. Hendon Hooker's run where he got it. I mean, he did get a player cut, which is kind of mean of him. But runs over a safety on his way to a first down. It puts a guy on a practice squad. You love to see the Tennessee Vols performing at every level.
What was that safety doing?
He didn't know you had to get so low. He didn't know it. But now he knows.
Yeah.
Now he knows. I'm excited to see if Joe Milton can punch this one in. They're on the 38-yard line. They are driving. I don't know if this game is blacked out in any areas, but it may be. So we'll just do a live update right here for you, even though I can't watch. Real quick, I know we have some more Vols to talk about at the next level. I do want to mention the Olympics today.
Okay.
And I don't know what everyone's thoughts are. And is this old man yells at clouds? Is this just me accepting that I am too old? You can't act how Noah Lyles did and lose, period.
No.
Period.
That pissed me off.
Yeah, that's
And I'm not talking about after the race. I know that's one thing. That's another conversation we can have. He still gave the guys, his due. He went and shook his hand, congratulated him, but we can talk about the rest of that. The guy sprinted 100 meters before he ever ran the race.
Yeah.
And then he lets all of America down.
Did you see the guy in the lane in front of him was also an American. Knighton,
Yep.
I think is his last name. Did you see him just shake his head?
As it happened. Apparently everyone hates him.
I mean, I can
the-
see it.
yeah.
I know, like,
Well, it's a weird environment because you are a team, but you're not. You're competing with it's a track and field's a weird environment. Anyways, it's easy to be.
yeah,
Not
and,
liked.
and he doesn't run in the relays either, so I'm
Right.
sure that. Yeah,
Don't like it. There are Americans still performing well, and that's good. You have some gold medal games. Basketball came back. So yeah, I mean he let us down. I will say though, you know what saved America this week? Did you see Hard Knocks? I haven't watched the episode yet, but the clip of the Canadian for the not the Giants. Good Lord, why am I blanking on where
the
they're
Jets?
at? No. Oh my gosh.
Raiders.
Lions,
Just name every NFL team until he gets it.
Pittsburgh.
Was it the Steelers? No.
Have y'all not seen the video though?
You're talking about his wife won the race and he told
Oh,
him
it's
to
the
practice.
Bears.
The Bears. It is the Bears. Caleb Williams is in it. Thank you. I'm glad y'all didn't name the team that it was. I would have been very embarrassed. It is the Bears.
Okay.
Y'all didn't see the video of the lineman? I think he's a lineman from Canada singing.
No, I just saw where
Oh, it
I was way off. My bad. Wrong
rocks,
video.
dude.
I saw Tyson
It-
Bagent when what's his name, Caleb Williams said his signing bonus.
Oh,
Did
no.
you see him?
No.
He's sitting in the front row and he's just like,
So you've seen that video, but you haven't seen the one I'm talking about. The rookie gets up. He's his $20,000 signing bonus. He's from British Columbia, Canada, and he sings. Is it Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue?
oh heck yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I love the guy.
No, it's not.
He's from Canada.
Hold on, it's not.
He definitely
It's not
wears
Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. I've got to
it
hear
still-
it in my head.
Still
It's
Toby Keith.
no, no. It's
God bless the USA.
I think it is God Bless the USA.
And
But he
I'm
sings
proud
it.
to
Dude.
be an American.
He sings it during the song. He's shirtless, which kind of rocks as a lineman, just to
This
randomly
guy
be
is
shirtless.
awesome. He's from Canada.
He's from Canada.
He wears
Can't
number
be.
58
Can't-
for sure.
Can't be.
During the song, he rips off his pants and he's wearing a bald eagle Speedo.
What in the world?
If you ever sit there and you say you hate America,
You don't think that rocks?
that's
Oh,
so
I
cool.
definitely think it rocks.
Wait, you think it rocks to have an American flag or an American
I just
Speedo?
respect that someone from Canada
Okay.
is now I despise Canada.
How would you?
We have now won over.
Why do you despise Canada? What did the good people of Canada do to you?
Because they're not actually good people. It's a myth.
Canada or Jeremy Banks? Pick
I've
one.
never met
I
a
did
bad
it-
Canadian
And
myself.
They are really nice people sometimes.
Well-
But the ones that are bad,
Which one, Canada or Jeremy Banks?
Jeremy Banks.
I
really-
like Canada. I'm a fan of Canada. If you know me,
You like soccer.
I don't. Canada. They suck at soccer. They cheated. They
They
were the
did cheat.
Michigan of soccer. I just like Canada. I think they're good people. I think they've
Yeah.
got a good thing going up there. They're kind of like the Switzerland of like North America or the Americans.
I mean, Tim Hortons is good.
like they're not really in anybody's way.
They're not. But I just I like America, and it's like you're really close, and I don't know. I just love to win somebody over. It wouldn't be the same if someone from Mexico came in and was like, I love America. No duh. But like Canada, and I don't, well, you know what I mean.
No, I'm with you. What would you think about a white male aged 19 to 25 wearing an American Speedo? Like, what are your thoughts on that? He's American.
Love it.
Okay, well, I've done that, and it was an American flag, and so that officially stops my
In Daytona.
in Daytona Beach.
That's probably his top 5 American that you can like
I
really
agree. Agree.
bald eagle screeched overhead.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what happened. Put me in the Olympics, but no, that video rocks.
Or in
And
Hard Knocks.
if you've never been in a locker room, that should tell you, like, those dudes, that guy, he might not make the roster. He's going to be on the practice. He's going to be around. He just made himself money.
I thought you were going to say he was cut the next day.
I think he got injured and probably won't be on the roster, but I'm telling you, he's going to be on the practice squad. Those dudes love him now.
Okay.
Those dudes love
What's his name? Do we got a name?
Dude, I don't freaking know.
I'll find it.
Okay.
It's got if he's got a bad like
Too
Canadian
busy
name,
looking at the Speedo to...
I'm taking
Yeah.
back all of my statements.
Yeah. Well, and it's one thing, we can't really watch the video. That's bad radio. He's terrible at singing. I mean, awful.
Oh, okay.
And that's why you're like, what's going on here? And you're like, why is he shirtless? And then all you think is that rocks.
I mean, if he would have
That
started
rocks.
American Girl, I mean,
American guys.
I mean, that place would have blown up.
I agree. But it's kind of,
Theo Benedict.
that's an awesome name.
58.
Theo's a sick name. I'm
Is
definitely.
he number 58? Please be 58.
Wait, let me.
We
get
getting a
find
58 Bears jersey? Color Rush? No, that's a cool name. That name rocks. I knew he had a cool name. I just couldn't remember it.
And it might not be Benedict.
It is
Benedict?
said like
Benedict?
almost like
Is it T silent?
Benedict, but not Benedict. I think it was nice that he kind of got to ease into it, because I think you're right. If you start off too hot, you have nowhere to go but down.
That dude does rock. Is he an offensive line?
But like, yeah, probably more than likely.
Okay. He's not as big as I would expect. He's
Right.
definitely not going to make
He's
the roster,
interior.
but it's okay.
He's interior line.
He
Um,
wears 62 for the Bears, but wore 72 in high school or college.
It was probably like
Close to 58.
right after, and I proudly stand up next to you and defend her still today. It was probably like right after that he ripped him off. It rocked.
It was God Bless the USA.
That's what I thought.
Shout out Lee Greenwood.
That was a psyop. You know that? That song was written by the Pentagon. You think that song's really old? No, it's like, oh, you want to know the worst part about that song? There's a Canadian, which kind of makes this rock even more, is he might know the Canadian version. There's a Canadian version that Lee Greenwood pedaled to the north. Does that not suck?
Wait,
Toby Keith would never do that.
Never.
Not even a shot.
Lee Greenwood
Canceled.
tried to
Greenwood
cash
canceled.
a check by writing a song, God Bless, I don't know what he called it. It was like
Canada?
God Bless Canada or something like that. It sucks. It's awful.
If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it from Mexico too, and just cover like
Agreed.
the North America.
Yeah,
I'm
agreed.
proud to be an American because you are technically
Yeah.
an American, Northern American.
Sure.
You could spin that, but if it's in French, dude, there's no way Lee Greenwood could swing.
No.
Like,
You know what rocks? The French national anthem. It goes
Nope.
hard.
no.
What?
Is this what's that? Caleb hates the USA. The flag sucks.
Oh,
I never said the flag
The
sucks.
Speedo in
Never said
Daytona was
that.
just
You think it was a distraction?
it was
huh?
a cover up.
Yeah, it didn't cover up much. I'll tell you that. I think it was a size too small. It's all they had at Spencer's. Yeah, I did want to talk about the Olympics, which led to that. So you're welcome. This is my favorite part about not football season is we can talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Sure, yeah.
We need to outro with the Lee Greenwood Canada song.
Well, speaking of like America, what kind of America? The Angels.
Sure.
When are they going to call up Christian Moore? When's it gonna happen?
If they want
Do it.
it to be similar to Angels, I think this would be okay. Start off here. Angels in the Outfield, cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah.
It is excellent. One of my favorite movies of all time. You can ask my brother Sam. I bet we watched that movie 5,000 times in our childhood.
It's a great one.
And I'd watch it again. I think if they wanted to get an even better film, bring Christian Moore up right now, and you have essentially Angels in the Outfield.
Well, America's team right now is the Trash Pandas.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, am I missing something? Why?
Well, number one, close to Huntsville.
Okay.
Spaceships, rocket ships, America.
Is NASA back?
You could say.
The Space Force?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Is
convinced.
that all you got for me?
No, I just think Christian Moore is.
He's turning heads, man.
I think he's the greatest baseball player I've ever seen in my life. In
Wow.
person.
Okay.
Okay.
Still a crazy statement.
That
but
is
I love it.
crazy.
I mean,
I'm not going to sit here and I'm not trying to tell you you're wrong because it's also somewhat subjective, but
think of the best baseball player ever. What did he do in Double A? That's what I want to know. I know he didn't hit 500 in Double A.
he probably batted better than that because he probably spent one day in Double A, like Christian Moore should have.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, after last night, he should never. I think he played again tonight, but
They
he
got to
shouldn't
get
have.
him closer to LA, just in case.
Well, that's the crazy thing is he was basically like when
Where is their AAA team? It's got to be somewhat close.
it probably is close.
What affiliation are they? What major league team?
The
They're
Angels.
Trash Panda- Oh, Doug. Sorry. I forgot we're talking about Christian Moore for a second. I was gonna try it. Yeah.
Typically, they try to keep AAA within like relative driving distance, get to the
it's
ballpark quick,
close.
kind of deal.
But he like goes out to LA for I guess sign autographs, do a press conference. Hey, go play in single A for 2 games, and then we're gonna send you to Huntsville. And then he's gonna have to go right back to LA here in a second.
Yeah,
Actually, Salt Lake.
Salt Lake City.
that's
The Salt Lake Bees.
just the bees.
Bzz. Yeah.
That's
They actually have like a.
imagine going to the Trash Pandas and then getting promoted and then going to the Bees. That's so lame. I hate that.
Their
so
logo
much.
actually is kind of sick though.
Do you feel like like this is my personal take? Trash Panda's a little bit overplayed.
I don't think it was until
Well, I mean, you did it because of a movie. It seemed like a nickname
Guardians
that
of the
wouldn't last
Galaxy?
long. Surely that's when they named it. How often did you hear Trash Panda before that?
well, I don't know.
That can't possibly be the origin of the team name.
It was not that long ago.
So who did it first?
I'm gonna go Guardians of the Galaxy is my take.
It probably was, but it would be cool if it wasn't.
Sure.
Maybe what's his
Wow.
name?
Yeah, it is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Is it?
What a crazy
Dang.
fool.
Thank you.
A raccoon character named Rocket is referred to as Trash Panda. The team Rocket City moniker references the long-standing
Okay.
nickname for Huntsville, Alabama.
The
Now-
Rocket City does make sense.
Right. They're the Rocket City. They're not the Huntsville Trash Pandas. They're the Rocket City Trash Pandas. Right? Isn't that their full name?
Yeah.
I guess you couldn't be the Rocket City Rockets. Sure. Fair argument. I love weird minor league baseball team names. The Montgomery Biscuits, sign me up. Love that. Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, love it. But it seems like they just were having one of those nights that you have, like the Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville night at the Tennessee Smokies game. The Tennessee Smokies.
That was
And
beautiful.
and
Speedo's coming
then
next.
and then they go, what if we just kept our name? How sick would that be? And they did, and I'm just thinking,
I
you're
like
the
it.
raccoons. You're the raccoons, not the Trash Pandas.
I just think you're hating. I think it's
You're
it's
right.
Cool.
I am.
I think it's
hating.
cool.
I think
Also,
you
Christian
tried
Moore's
too
on the
hard.
team, so I'm.
You know what else is a sick name? Toledo Mud Hens. That one rocks.
That's a good one.
I can't think of any more off the top
I mean,
of
the
my head.
Savannah Bananas was a minor league baseball team. That was a good.
They
one.
were a college summer league team.
Oh, okay.
I kind of lied. Not entirely. They didn't name them because of them.
But it came after.
2017. That has to be post first movie, right?
It is.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
2015. Well, the
It's a
guy
great
said,
movie, though.
I just heard the word trash. I hadn't seen the movies. I didn't know the phrase. He said, we
Oh.
put it in the list of 10, like the team finalist names.
Well, you have to lie about it.
But I
That's-
still thought we're in the Bible Belt. People won't react to it well. And then it won the name contest on.
in the Bible Belt.
I
what?
don't know, dude.
That's that
thou,
guy.
thou shalt
is-
not say trash panda.
That guy is terrible at lying.
This is
That's
Ralph.
all I
This is
just
Ralph
learned.
Nelson,
Yeah, Ralph Nelson, you're a liar.
ball
You
court
suck at it.
managing partner.
Yeah, that's bad. That's
Probably Ralph with an F, not even a PH. Not
It
even
is
cool.
PH.
You think Ralph's with a F is cooler than PH?
Yeah.
Okay.
No way.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay, there's a Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs.
Yeah,
That one
that's
kinda rocks.
that's for the Cubs. I think that's up in Philly. Been to several Iron Pig games.
Didn't
Actually, I
realize
was on the Junior Iron Pigs. Shout out,
Nice.
shout out number 3.
The Amarillo Sod Poodles kind of rocks.
That's what's the logo or what's the
Uh,
mascot looking like?
I can't really.
I'll find it. It's fine.
Tell.
I will say Ralph Nelson is on LinkedIn with only 41 connections, and you can message him right now. So if you
Okay.
do want to voice your displeasure with him lying, Caleb,
Okay.
you
I'll
do
get
have
right on
you
that.
have an open lane to at least access his
Okay.
inbox.
You also have the which one was
The
I going
banana
for?
slugs or whatever.
I didn't see that one. There's another one that I was like, that rocks. Ooh, the Fort Myers Mighty Muscles.
Oh yeah.
That sounds like a Little League team name, and that
It's
rocks.
the Twins, right?
It doesn't show me affiliations here. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Yeah.
It is the Twins.
You also have the Carolina Mudcats, which feels like a Toledo Mud Hens ripoff, and I don't like it. Oh, it's the Hartford Yard Goats. I love that. The Yard Goats rocks. You put yard in pretty much in front of any name, and I'm
That's where Jordan Beck's at.
correct. Who? Yeah,
Triple A
yeah.
Rockies.
Who is the Double A affiliate for the Yankees in Charleston? I thought they had a cool name. It might not be. It's Myrtle Beach, isn't it?
The
Not
Somerset
Charleston.
Patriots.
No, the Myrtle Beach Pelicans are a Cubs affiliate.
Pelicans.
Yeah,
No, Double A Cubs affiliates the Smokies.
they're a single A Cubs
Oh,
affiliate.
okay.
Yeah.
Who? I guess they would have played the Cubs then. I know, like A-Rod rehabbed there one time.
It's like the Charleston, like,
Oh, so it is a Charleston team?
dogs or I think it's a dog of some sort. I think it
River
used
Dogs.
The River Dogs.
Yeah, I think it used to be the Canucks, but they changed that to the River Dogs.
Okay, so it turns out you put any noun in front of any animal name, and I'm in. Yard Goats, River Dogs, I'm in.
Mighty Muscles.
Mud Hens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also the
I'm in.
Binghamton Rumble Ponies. That's
Oh yeah.
that's sick.
A lot of good names. And what is unfortunate is we lost more good names due to when they restructured the minor leagues. But
I love
It
it.
is what it is.
Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, huge. Lansing Lug Nuts.
see, I'm not big on the lug nuts. What are you doing there?
Is that the
I'm in Michigan, so it's
where is the lug nuts?
Oakland A's, Lansing, Michigan. They're
Oh, the Oakland A's. That's where Jared Dickey's at
Yeah.
now. It does have a pretty sick logo, the lug nuts.
okay.
do.
The Sugarland Space Cowboys,
And that's
logo
where I'll
is
say, like,
sick.
I'm hating on the Trash Panda name, but
logo sick.
logo's sick.
Yeah.
Carolina Disco Turkeys. Come on.
And I'm only hating on the Trash Panda name because it doesn't feel unique because they changed it right when Guardians of the Galaxy was incredibly famous and
Yeah.
everyone knew, everyone was using Trash Panda any chance they got. And that guy never heard it until he came up with it magically. Get out of town,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah,
On a
Ralph is a
rocket.
liar.
Yeah, I never heard that term before in my life.
Ralph
Okay.
is a liar. But yeah, Christian Moore. 24 at bats in 5 games in his professional career, 12 hits, 4 homers, 10 RBIs.
Dog.
I mean, the guy like he breaks the home run record at Tennessee by a lot. Wins the SEC championship, wins the national championship, gets drafted 8th overall. Single A 2 games, promoted, Double A 3rd game in Double A, and hits a walk-off home run. I mean, the dude's unreal.
This is going to sound like I'm hating, but I actually don't know, so I am curious. What is the likes of Charlie Condon doing
I think he hit his first home run
See,
yesterday.
I genuinely didn't know.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Mm-hmm. He didn't do that. I mean, batting 500 is there's usually even though the competition.
It sounds
isn't,
like my road to the show.
Yeah, it's usually there's an adjustment period, especially when there's travel involved. You're playing every day, pretty often, especially off the. I mean, the guy just played 80 games of baseball in college, and then goes right into playing every day again.
That kind of has to suck a little bit. It
Yeah.
probably helps you're getting paid,
Yeah,
especially that signing bonus, but that does kind of suck.
yeah, he's doing okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a crazy run he's been on, and I mean, the Angels they're not good. They lose Mike Trout for the year. I just think this would be a great way to bring Angels fans to the stadium.
Yeah.
People in seats.
Yeah. Bring them in the outfield. Angels in the outfield. Bring them out.
Also, that regional with Campbellsville, when they came to Knoxville and played, Christian Moore and Zach Neto for Campbellsville could be the starting middle infield for the Angels. So.
Wow. That's fun fact.
Yep. Also, a lot of people were like, "Yeah, he's not going to play second base," and that's all he's played since he's been in the pros.
Love it. Christian Moore's an all-star. Murray Wilby's here soon. Can't wait to see what he continues to do. It's been a lot of fun getting those updates. A lot of balls are performing really well in the minor leagues right now. But yeah, that's awesome to see. Guys, we're going to wrap up this show. We've got about 15 minutes left. We're going to go to a short break. Stick with us on the other side. We'll have some questions, some segments, all of the good stuff. It's More Important Issues here on Fan Run Radio. Wrapping up hour 2, more breaking news. Joseph Milton III
The third.
gets his first touchdown. Does it count? Would they call it your first touchdown in the NFL in preseason? I guess you get 2 first. You get your first preseason, then a first.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That rocks. Throws his first touchdown pass for the New England Patriots. The Joe Milton experience is in full effect, folks. We're in the thick of it, and I love it.
I mean, he's definitely going to be the starter for the Patriots.
That's what it looks like. I mean, there's still some more preseason to play, but look out, Pats fans. You got another Michigan quarterback, undervalued, coming to be your starter. Uh-oh. Two vastly different body types when they came into the NFL.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, Tom Brady. I would like to see Tom Brady and Joe Milton's like.
I hope he wins a Super Bowl.
Pictures.
I hope he wins a Super Bowl for the Patriots, just for the sole reason of it will be a meme of their pictures side by side.
Oh yeah,
and it'll rock.
Mm-hmm.
It'll rock. We are going to do stupidities. I don't know if we have any questions. I did want to mention, especially since we're talking MLB. You know how I said I'd never go to another game at Bristol Motor Speedway?
Yeah.
I think
you going?
I feel like you kind of have to. It's an MLB game, so it's not Tennessee playing there again. I feel like you have to go.
Ball's even smaller.
Ball's even smaller. The field layout will be very interesting. But it's one of those things, it's like, you got to see the first one, right? You don't want to see the second and third
Who's
one.
playing in it?
It's the Reds and Braves. So it's cool that it's the Braves.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not a Braves fan, but a lot of people in Tennessee are.
Yeah.
Especially East Tennessee. So I think I'm going to go.
Okay.
You not in? Tailgating?
What is it again? I was totally
The Reds
Twittered
and
out.
Braves, and I think they're announcing it officially tomorrow, are playing at Bristol Motor Speedway next year.
That does kind of rock.
It kind of rocks.
We've just said like if Tennessee did it again, like
We said
probably,
Tennessee did it again.
we wouldn't go back, and now we're gonna watch the Braves.
I won't stay
I
for
mean,
9 innings probably.
Here's the
but
thing: I'm in,
Okay.
but
That's all I need to hear.
it's not because of the game.
No.
It's the experience.
The experience. Well, it's one of those things. I don't care about the MLB, but that kind of does it for me. Like, I'll go.
Yeah.
Do you think watching a football game from that far out is gonna be bad?
That's what I'm saying. You won't even be able to see the ball.
And there's still gonna be some guy up in the nosebleeds like, "Come on, Blue, that was a damn strike."
Don't talk about me like that. Dude, I went to a Rockies game a few years ago. I couldn't see anything in their outfield. I was like, I mean, why am I even here? So I can't imagine what it would be like in Bristol. But I'm going to go, probably. I'm probably going to go. But that is what it is. Let's hit some stupidities before we roll out of here.
Do
Get
have
you
some
guys off
questions.
to bed. And some questions that
Yep.
might be stupid. We'll see. Sorry if whoever asked them.
So, got one question here. Does Squirrel, Brew, and Chris Brazel combine for 3,000 yards this season?
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, we don't even know where. We're going to find out if Josh Heupel will only play 3 receivers this year because you have Deontay Thornton, Chris Brazel, you have Mike Matthews, but you also have Chaz Nimrod and Caleb Webb who played a lot last year. So we'll find out. Between the 3, that'll be.
I just don't see it.
I'll say
no
2,500.
Not with how much depth that they've.
Yeah, like
If those were their 3 that they would like, you knew they were playing all season, that was just gonna.
I could see maybe like one guy gets like 11.
Yeah. 800.
Another guy, 8. Another one like 5 or 6. Yeah, I could see
Put you under 2,500. So you're taking the under in 2,500?
probably.
Okay.
I just think 3. I mean, you should play more guys. Now, if you just did a 3-man rotation, I mean, I guess you could maybe get there. I still think that would be tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think I could see them. I'm not saying lock it in. I could see them getting over 25 between the 3.
Now, it would have been interesting to see, like, 2 years ago, Hendon Hooker, it would have been close because I think Brew had like 600, and then Tillman got hurt, so Ramel Keaton came in, and I think Hyatt had like close to 1,300 by himself.
That's what I was going to say, too, is he does have to throw to pretty much only those 3 guys.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have many yards beyond them. So I guess not 20. Yeah, probably like 2,200 is probably where I'm saying, like, it's possible.
Yeah. I mean, if they did, though, that would,
That would rock.
I think, college football playoff.
Yeah. I mean, please, what? If you're not.
Not even a playoff. We get a bye.
Yeah.
We get to just
no, I want
relax.
the home game.
I know, but
In Bristol Motor Speedway. We're back. You'd have to go, or we'd break our rule if they somehow did that.
oh yeah, I would definitely go for that.
Yeah. But it's the first playoff game.
But if we're playing like,
It's also the first playoff game in Bristol Motor Speedway. It's a lot of firsts. It's like Joe Milton's. Never forget your first.
Also, speaking of quarterback, does a quarterback enter the portal after this season, in your opinion?
Pending any, like,
I would say unlikely. Because
Yeah.
Jake Merklinger will be the second string assumed. It would be the next season.
Yeah,
You would see one.
I would be shocked if it's this year.
It'd be the following
You know,
where you would see
yeah,
one.
George McIntyre gets here, and even then, like when Nico, it kind of works out perfectly. When Nico, let's say that he's gone after his junior year.
Yeah.
I mean, those two guys will be competing for it. So I don't know if somebody will transfer unless they just like automatically name somebody.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think the factor of a 5-star freshman coming in probably has you leaning, though, going.
Yeah.
You're right, there has to be kind of an obvious choice after that. But, yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
I think that's where I would see it happening before this year.
Yeah. I think the probably year after that for sure. Especially if one doesn't leave next year, the year after
Yeah,
that.
100%. Yeah. Yep. Any other questions?
That's all I got.
All right.
Who do you think eats the most at the tailgate?
Most food?
Yeah.
Riley when he's there.
I was thinking the same thing.
I don't know if I've ever seen him without a bowl or a plate in his hand.
Oh, that's hilarious. I do see Nick over there. He's always
Nick's snacking,
Yeah.
but he doesn't necessarily walk away with a plate.
Yeah, that man's every time he comes over to my house, pantry pirate.
I feel like
always
Wes
in
is
the pantry.
snacking a lot too. He's not like Riley; he doesn't have a plate in his hand.
Yeah. He just like he grabs something and dips it in everything.
I would say as a fat guy myself, I don't eat anywhere near as much as you would think. I kind of forget to eat sometimes.
Yeah, I do the
It's
same
not good.
thing.
I get to the game.
Like I'll get
like,
that
save
one.
plenty of room for a smoky dog.
Yeah, I'll get that one thing like, I'll get a plate, and
Yeah.
then like
Now I
I
forget
won't
to go
eat-
back for seconds
yeah,
and thirds and
nothing,
fourths. Yeah.
nothing after that. What about you, Joey? You eat a lot on game day?
dude, I try
liquid
just
diet?
knowing how much I'm going to consume.
You're getting a lot of carbs. It's all
I
right.
need to. I try to go bread heavy, but you also got to remember I'm waking
Michael
up.
Scott.
I'm waking up pretty rough, and
Yeah.
especially on some earlier games, you just don't have time for it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you have to prioritize things on game days, and I think food maybe comes. I don't think it even breaks top 5 if you're really rushing and
It's
stuff.
like
so
$15 beer,
Right.
Or
You know what day?
no, I refuse to buy beer inside the stadium.
You know what day
Okay.
I
Ever.
didn't
okay.
eat a
Ever.
thing when we went to Ruby Sunshine. If you think Ruby Sunshine's good, shut up. You should never recommend a restaurant to anyone.
I don't like you.
Like, what do you eat there? Pancakes?
What's wrong
French,
with pancakes?
French toast?
Their French toast bites are delicious. What are you
That
talking
doesn't
about?
make a restaurant good, though. Anyone can do that.
Okay, I wouldn't recommend like hey
Okay,
the
then-
entire, but like I would say go to Ruby Sunshine.
And don't get anything but pancakes.
Their eggs, I mean, like they cook their eggs well. I don't know, like it's
I-
been a while, but I'm not gonna like.
I
I'm not
had-
gonna stand for
That
that.
biscuit and gravy's good.
Yeah, what are we talking about? They've got great.
You're naming the easiest foods to make.
It's a brunch place. That's what they do.
you
So
make
I
it.
go and I got
You make it, we won't eat there.
okay. I make great French toast, which is incredibly easy to make, but I make good French toast.
I'm going Saturday. Thank you.
I go to a restaurant, and when I go to a restaurant, I'm thinking if I'm going to pay for this, I'd like to get something that I wouldn't normally make myself. Like I'm not waking up on Saturday and making this. I went with the breakfast tacos. Seems like a safe pick at a place like that. No,
Yeah, that's fair.
awful.
Okay.
I mean, truly
What
the
was it- what was in
worst meal I've ever had in my life. I can't
Okay.
remember.
Dude, there's no
Joey,
I
I-
would go eat the breakfast tacos.
Joey, I ate so little of it that the manager came out and asked me like what was wrong. Like what?
Or you,
And
did
I
you give it on three years like?
I said
Mid.
I said it's not very good. I'm not gonna eat it. And then I didn't complain. Landon was there. I didn't raise a stink. I was just gonna pay for it and move on.
Calm.
They took it off my menu or took it off my bill.
And
So
that's-
I did say this that day. I said that kind of customer service would bring me back when I didn't have a good experience.
is this a first time basis or have you?
No,
frequent-
I've been. That was
Okay.
probably my second or third time there, and it's never been that good.
Yeah. So they gave you a free meal and then you went on.
Well, I didn't
live
eat it,
radio
so it
to-
wasn't. Hold on. That
No,
was
you,
not
you,
a.
You did just walk it back quite a
That
You
was-
said it was the worst food you've ever had.
I said
in your
don't
entire
recommend
life.
it. It was,
It's not that bad. It was the worst food I've ever had.
and it wasn't a free meal because, brother, I didn't eat it. That meal was consumed by no one.
Yeah, wait, that's true. You just net zero.
I just said, if
Maybe
you
you're
recommend it, shut up, and I stand by that. But shout out to the manager at Ruby Sunshine Because that's how you get someone back that has a bad experience.
Good point.
Because if he had come out and been like, "What's wrong?" like confrontational, "What's wrong with it?" I'm like, "It sucks." And he's like, "Well, you ordered it. Deal with it."
I've also really every
I would
time
have
I've
burned
gone,
that place
it's
to the ground.
French toast bites in the omelet. So like I'm not. But that's also when I go to a brunch place like that. Unless it's first watch and I can actually get like something that you can't make. I kind of want something I can make. Like I go to Waffle House. I want just home cooked.
Yeah, but those are
Eggs and-
$4. The
Yeah, that's true,
pancakes
that's
at Ruby
true.
Sunshine are $15.
Yeah, that's true.
Way too many free ads on this right now.
I don't know
Just-
if that was a free ad. I think that was the opposite.
Well,
of
I
an
mean,
ad.
he just like named.
Oh, yeah, true.
Waffle House can have my ads. I don't care. I'll pay for the
I
ad revenue.
and I will say I would go back. I would not pick it.
Okay.
If someone said let's go, I would probably put up a fight, and then if they really were dying to go, I'd go. I'd show back up.
I respect that.
If 2 meals were bad, even if they paid for it, no chance.
Fair.
And I'm not saying bad. I've had bad meals. That was just ugh. I still can taste it. Like I don't. They were cold. Like everything in it was like not like.
Maybe you caught the kitchen on a bad day, but that's normal. You know, you get something bad, and then you.
You're not wrong. I don't trust it. I don't trust that place at all. Trust their manager. He's doing good work. He probably don't work there anymore. Well, you know how these corporations work. They just run them all out.
All the good
Meanwhile,
ones.
Unnamed place that I was at last night. Greatest old fashioned I've ever had in my entire life. And I can tell again. I just don't want a free ad.
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
but
Where? Well,
You can tell us after.
can you tell me? I had a good one this weekend at the Vault. It's pretty
it
solid.
was in the old city.
Okay. I
And it was
probably
expensive.
know what you're talking about.
Expensive in the old city. You can.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
brother. Oh,
Do they do food?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't think they have a full menu, do they?
I think it's
It's like appetizers.
next door is.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. I'm not gonna try to hand. signal.
Yeah.
We're on radio.
Oh.
Two
yeah.
two words.
You ate there?
Yeah, we had a
Good meal?
Yeah, very good.
I haven't eaten there before. I want to. My only stupidity. Well, I had two, but I'll just go with this one real quick. Colorado social media team.
Yeah, that was.
What are you
butchered.
doing?
Throwing darts.
And then Nebraska followed it up with a great one. Loved that.
Yeah.
That was
Darts only.
fantastic.
Mine was Arden Key for the Titans. They were doing a drill, and he jumped off sides 4 times in a row.
That was awesome.
That
Mid-season
Hey.
form, just ready.
It was like, and Jeffrey Simmons behind him is just like, dude, just stop.
The only one I've got is the Wyndham Championship for PGA starts tomorrow. They're not letting fans in because there's going to be 5 inches of rain, no lightning, not to my knowledge.
But 5 inches of rain, they're not gonna play.
Well, that's my point because they can
Yeah.
speed you the greens and everything. But, dude, come on, are you kidding me? That's
Yeah.
like the best thing in the world. I would have, I want fans there.
Right.
If you're going to play golf,
Yeah, I
it's
want to
just
see
rain. We're not talking torrential, thunder, lightning, whatever. I get it. All right, we don't want to kill anybody, but. Dude, you know clips you're gonna get from 5
I
inches of
know.
rain
Yeah.
on a Thursday or well I guess it was today. Today's Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh.
So they play it?
I
5
guess
inches of rain?
I honestly
Wow.
don't know. I haven't really been on my sports watch today
We'll
except for
follow
the
up on
Olympics.
We'll
But
follow up on that.
but yeah.
We'll let you know. We'll keep you updated
them.
at home.
Oh wait, no, they didn't. Round 1 suspended.
There we go.
That's why you let the fans in. It would never happen.
Exactly.
Guys, go check out Roback, roback.com. Use promo code More Important Issues for 20% off your first purchase. They have the best quality. They got the state polos back. Go get them while they're hot. And, again, use promo code More Important Issues for 20% off your first purchase. Anything else?
Have a good weekend, guys. Love you always.
Guys, thank you, guys. Go Joe. Go Hendon. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.
And my